I'm going to explain how the heart works and what happens when it doesn't work. So I'm just drawing the head, lungs, heart, kidneys and feet. Now, our heart's a pump. It actually is two pumps in one. There's a low pressure pump that pumps off to the lungs, and there's a high pressure pump that has to push against whatever your blood pressure is to get the blood out and around the body. Now, blood comes from all around the body to the right side. It gets pushed from here into here, then it gets pushed from there up off to the lungs, where it gets rid of the carbon dioxide and picks up the oxygen. It continues to flow back to the left atrium, gets pushed into this left ventricle, and then it has to push against whatever your blood pressure is to get that blood up and around the rest of your body. So if your blood pressure is 120/80, every heartbeat, the heart has to push more than 120 millimeters of mercury to get the blood out. And you know, when we put a blood pressure cuff on your arm, how tight that can get. So it's quite a high pressure. Now, if the left side of your heart, if the main pump struggles to function, you're not going to get as much blood flowing up to your brain. So you may not think as straight, you may not feel as sharp, you may feel flat in mood, and you may be quite tired. If the heart isn't pumping out well, it's also not going to pump blood to the kidneys. They are a filter and they need flow for those kidneys to work. If they don't get the flow, they don't make good quality wee, and therefore fluid and waste can build up in your body. And also, if this the heart isn't pumping well, you're not going to get as much blood going to all your muscles in your body. So as soon as you start to exert yourself, your muscles will be saying, I need more oxygen, and sending an impulse to your brain to breathe more. So you'll end up a bit huffy puffy, like that, when you're moving and doing things. So that's what happens if the pump isn't pumping well with regards to moving the blood forward. Now, what can happen is that it will if like any pump, if it can't pump the blood forward, there's going to be a backlog of pressure that will build up. That can then put stretch and strain on the left atrium, which can flip you into a rapid, irregular heart rate called atrial fibrillation. That pressure can continue to backlog and force fluid from the bloodstream into the lungs. Therefore, there's less space for oxygen transfer. So you may not get as much oxygen picked up into your blood. And you'll also have other symptoms such as shortness of breath, cough, etc. And we'll go through that another time. The pressure can continue to backlog and put pressure on your right ventricle, can stretch the right atria. Once again, that can tip you into atrial fibrillation. Then that pressure can continue to backlog, and it can cause congestion of the blood flow from your liver, so you can end up with some liver dysfunction. It can also congest the blood flow from your intestines, and so you can end up feeling bloated after food, lose your appetite, or be constipated, or some of the three, or all of the three. The pressure can also backlog and force fluid from the bloodstream out into the tissues of your legs, bottom, and belly.